welcome to our third and latest installment of our Hot Guns web interview series. I am your host, Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Fuller, current Glory 6 and proud commander of 141 Field Artillery here at Fort Stewart, Georgia. And today I am joined by Corporal Jeremy Perez, who's our latest volunteer to take up the Hot Wings or the Hot Guns challenge. So we're going to jump right into it, get to know one of the soldiers in our great battalion a little bit better, enjoy some decent wings with even better sauces on it, and you can learn a little bit about ourselves in the process. You ready for this?
Hey, let's go. Let's get it.
Okay, here we go. So you'll notice we got a slightly different setup. Got a few more wings this time. We'll get to that a little bit later. But okay. Corporal Jeremy Perez, 25 Bravo, currently working in our S6 shop, originally from the Bronx. Let's go ahead and dig into the first wing, and then I'll get to the first question here. So,
is it my right, your left, or?
You start farthest from the camera and work your way closest. So this one is a classic, coming in at about 1800 on the Scoville scale.
Are we clearing the wing, or are we just taking it?
It's up to you. I'd say if you're hungry, clear the wings early on, fill up, because later on you might not want to so much.
Not bad.
No, that's a pretty flavorful one, pretty mild.
This is the classic, no?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty mild. Pretty mild.
All right, so starting off, tell us a little bit about yourself. Just quick, brief introduction. Who is Corporal Perez?
Well, the name is Corporal Perez, aka the victim of these wings. Originally from the Bronx, was born in Queens, married to Carmen Perez. We've been together 7 years now, 4 kids, and yeah, that's about it, man. Joined the Army 2 years ago, and this is my first unit. Proud to be here. Sad to go. It's bittersweet, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, and if you have not seen Corporal Perez in your office, in your battery area, then you're one of the less than 1% who has never had computer problems, or you just don't have a computer. Absolute workhorse from the 6 shop, and just about every time I've had a problem, you show up pretty quickly after the 6 normally. Does his best to completely brick my computer and fix it in a couple of minutes. So
yeah, I try.
All right, ready to move on to the second one?
Let's do this.
All right, so this is Los Caliente. So fairly big jump. We're jumping up to 3,600 on the scale now.
Los Calientes.
A little bit different style.
Good flavor.
For such a big jump, it doesn't really hit you nearly as much as you'd expect it to. We're still in the realm of, it's pretty day to day.
Yeah, I was waiting for the late hit, but it's pretty good.
Oh, those are coming, don't worry. All right. So there's rumors, legends, call it what you will, around the battalion that you walk by the 6 shop, you might hear verses from "Hey There, Delilah." Tell us a little bit about that song, where that comes from, and what that means to you. How come that made it to your favorites?
The story behind "Hey There, Delilah" is when I was learning how to play the guitar. That was the easiest song to learn how to play. It's a great song. Don't get me wrong; it's a good song, but it was just one of the easier tabs to pick up on the guitar. It's only like 3 chords, and you play it over and over again. And yeah, that's how it came about. This was one of the easiest songs. Yeah, the spicy is hitting even now. It's one of the easiest songs to learn, and I just started with that song. That's the only story behind that song.
Just kind of gets stuck in your head.
Yep.
All right. Okay, moving on to number 3. Yeah, we're straight into it. There's no.
Oh man.
This is the hot tie. So this is coming in about 74. So not as big jump as the last one.
I want to know why we jumped from only 6 sauces to 9.
We'll get to that later.
Yep, it's hitting. It's definitely hitting.
But still pretty. I mean, you got a good variety in the first three of different styles, from just like a classic wing sauce to a green sauce, and then they bring the Thai in. So you can definitely get the feel for some of the different pepper types and.
Yep, the lips definitely starting to burn.
Starting to get it a little bit. So we got the milk, we got the waters, no shame.
I'm not drinking or anything unless
I've heard that before. And just understand we've added 3 extra wings. So Chapman Staten did it. And so he's a good role model. All right. So you got a very diverse background. If some of you don't know, previously were a police officer, cable technician, manager prior to coming into the military. Like to lift, artist, guitar player, as we just talked about, singing, obviously, based on the last question. Also into cooking, barber. Saw your skills on display at NTC. So what drove you really to with all that diverse background, really kind of a jack of all trades, could have jumped at anything. What kind of drove you to join the military, and especially what we're getting from your wife? There's a pretty decent story behind all that.
It's a pretty decent one. So I joined the military at 32. I was working for the cable company. I was a supervisor for the fiber optics department. The master sergeant in MEPS, and I spoke to him. I'm like, hey, I'm 32. My wife is pregnant. I need a solid career. Like, where can I go in the Army? And he gave me the whole background on where I can go, where I can start. So after the 6 months were up, where the unemployment was up, I went down to Baltimore, where he was stationed, and he processed me. And 2 months later, I was shipped to basic, and that's how I came to the Army, just to fulfill my duty as a man and take responsibility and take care of my family. So that's how I got here.
So talk a little more about the transition from police officer in the Bronx
Right.
to cable technician then, because that.
So it wasn't so much as being a police officer. I was a peace officer
Okay.
with the auxiliary program at the NYPD, which is you volunteer your services, and you do arrests, you do everything just like a police officer, but you're not fully inducted into the NYPD.
Okay.
I did that for 3 years. In New York City, you take a test and it's valid for 4 years. By the time my 4th year came up, my test number was called, but Major Bloomberg at the time did a hiring freeze. So I wasn't able to jump fully and get my gun and shield
Okay.
and become a police officer fully. So one of my buddies was working for the cable company, and as a cop at that point, you was only making, I think, $32,000 in New York, which is nothing.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
And as a cable technician, he was clearing almost like 70 grand because you were getting paid by the job.
Yeah.
So a triple play, which is the telephone, internet, and cable, one job would be $60. So if you do 5 or 6 jobs a day, you're clearing a good amount. So that's how the transition happened from being a cop or auxiliary officer to becoming a cable technician.
Okay, and then with that diverse background, and we talked about like kind of all the other skills and hobbies you've got, how does that all kind of mix into the person that is Corporal Jeremy Perez, and how much of that picked up pre-military, post-military, and just kind of what's your inspiration or drive to kind of find these new diverse things to do, and then find the time to do it all?
I mean, I've always been a very diverse person. I've always been a jack of all trades. My inspiration is now, and for the past 7 years, has always been my wife and kids. That's my drive. That's the reason why I get up in the morning. It's as you know, it's hard to get up at 5:30 in the morning every morning to come do PT. But I get up from bed, I take a look back at them, and that's the reason why I do it. I've taken every skill that I've had in my previous jobs, and I've used them well in the Army. when it comes to customer service and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, like I said before, my wife and kids are my motivation. That's the reason why I do what I do here.
Yeah. All right. So, ready to move on to number
Hey,
4?
I've been ready.
Okay.
I've
All
been
right.
ready to
I'm
do
sorry to
this.
slow you down. Okay. So now we're jumping on the Stargazer hot sauce. This is not our biggest jump, and now we're busting into the 100,000s on the Scoville sale. So this one comes in at 118,000.
Cool, let's get it.
So we've got a little more bite to it right up front.
Yep, definitely does. Woo! Yeah.
This being the third one now, I just know when the post editing shenanigans is going to jump in. Can't wait.
Yeah, that definitely puts a little burn on your lips. You can see the goblets of sweat coming down.
That one will stay with you for a little bit. All right. So you say you come from a big family. You have a big family, 4 kids. You've got 3 siblings.
4 siblings.
4 siblings. Where were you in that mix of the 5 of you?
In order of, well, I'm the oldest out of all of them. Yeah.
Okay. And how was that being kind of the oldest, looking after them, and kind of how does that transition now to your role as a father of 4? One oldest is a boy, 3 girls, and just kind of the role you talk a little bit about it that family plays in your life in the military.
Well, you see the tears coming down? Woo!
Milk's right there.
It was no, I'm not doing it until you do it, sir. It's pretty annoying to be the oldest, and I see it now being a father of 4 because I used to get in trouble for everything, and then my younger siblings will do the exact same thing and not get in trouble the way I got in trouble when I did it. And it's funny because I catch myself doing the same thing with JoJo, my oldest, and my son. And he'll do something, and I'll get him in trouble, and I'll punish him, take his Xbox away, take his iPad away, take everything away. But then when Cora does it, or Madison does it, which are the younger 2, I just let them slide. So, I mean, I see how I'm now living what my father was living when he was raising us when we were younger. So.
Yeah, as an oldest
It's
child
pretty cool
myself
to see.
with 2 younger sisters, yeah, I feel the angst, and it's a little different for us because we got 3 boys and the youngest is a girl, so all 3 of them kind of get the same. They all get in trouble, and then she comes along and just waltzes right through everything. All right, ready to move on?
I'm ready.
Okay. So next up, so this is going to be our biggest jump. So last one was 118. This is the Widowmaker, and it's clocking in at 682. So we're jumping up over 550,000 on the Scoville scale. You ready?
Ooh, yeah, my face is feeling.
All right. After a while, your lips go numb.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're already. Man, I can feel the spice before I even bit into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep, that's the
And
one.
that can also work for. I know this is one of the camera crew's favorite. Count how many times I've
You can probably spot
got to wipe down.
the
Yeah.
glaze in my forehead right now.
Especially now that we've got this great lighting.
Whew.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're a big fan of the Hot Ones web series, and as always, got to give a shout out to the Sean Evans, the team at First We Feast for being kind of the inspiration for this idea and doing this at the battalion. So they've got the explain.gram. We don't have the computer stuff going on, but we were able to get a couple pictures. So we'll start off with this one. Just put these up here, and you can give a little explanation. So what are we looking at right here?
Alrighty. So you can see right here, this is a picture of me and my 2 brothers. Junior is in the middle. Chris is to his left there. And this is our first ever guy/brother trip to Atlantic City, where I don't remember taking this picture right here, but I can tell you that it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. The roulette table was at a $5 minimum, and I started off with $5 and left with, I think it was $285, which covered the room and the gas driving from New York down to Jersey. So that's what that was, and I'm glad you picked this this picture.
All right, here's another one. Now this is a serious face. Talk a little about who's that guy and what's he got on his mind.
This is civilian Jeremy Perez. This is my singles favorite picture. This is my parked in the Bronx with the earrings in, with my beard in my BMW, pretending to be cute. I mean, that's all I can really say about that. And there it is. You can find that on my Instagram. Thank you, sir, for picking this up.
All right. In one final one, go a little later this time, and here's the family man photo.
Yep, these are my youngest girl. That's Cora and Madison, and this is I believe the day after what was it called? Born Focus. It was right after Born Focus. I came home. I probably stunk in this picture. So I didn't take a shower. I just lay down with the girls, and we all just knocked out for the night or for the day because it was already daytime by the time I got home. So that's what that picture was. I think it was a cute picture.
All right, so
Woo!
we're to the top, but we're going to plateau. We're not going to stop at necessarily at the top here, but in deference to the Sean Evans and his team, it is the last dab.
Oh, we're already up to the last dab?
We are already there. So we will do as tradition dictates the last dab. Totally up to you.
Hey, no,
you don't have to put it on there, but tradition to add that last little dab to the wing before we.
Ooh, Lord. Hey, I have allergies, and this definitely cleared up my sinuses. I'll tell you what.
All right, so this one, the clocking in at 2 million plus on the Scoville. So
dope.
This is the second biggest. Well, no, this is clearly the biggest jumping over a million up there. Ready to go?
Hey, let's go, sir.
Okay.
Did we do the little cheers?
Oh yeah, do that.
There you
We
go.
go.
I'll probably make the ugliest faces when I bite into the wing. Hey, so I see you sweating over there. If the water's right there, we want to grab it. Go ahead, grab it.
Oh, I wait till the camera's on you and
Nope.
then I start drinking my milk.
I'm not gonna do it. Whew.
All right. So, all that being said, you've been with the unit for about 2 years. Probably got a little bit of time left, but always strike us as the guy who's not really complacent at any given level. Always striving for what's next. Know one of your goals is possibly a warrant or OCS. Looking at volunteering for the SFAB. What's next for Corporal Jeremy Perez?
Well, it's probably going to be the bathroom. But what's next is I submitted a packet for SFAB, got selected, and come October, I should be reporting to my next unit. Like I said earlier in the video, it's definitely bittersweet. This is my first unit. I met a lot of people. I hope I impact a lot of people, not just for the sake of fixing printers and laptops, but I'm gonna miss the relationships I built here at 1 for 1. If I'm crying, it's because of the hot sauce and not because I'm getting emotional. But I'm definitely gonna miss everybody here, man. I have a great family in the S6, great family in the organization, and yeah, I'm excited because when I came into the military at the age of 32, I told myself that I wanted to know as much as the next 32-year-old person in the Army. That's just the way I am. I want to know as much as somebody who's been in the Army for 20 plus years because I came in at such a late age. But I'm excited to move on to the next unit and see what I can learn from them and just keep progressing in my career, sir. I can't stay stagnant. Like, I always have to keep moving. I get bored very easily. So, not that I was bored here, but I like when my train moves forward in the sense of career movement. So, yeah, I can't wait. But you guys will be missed. I will miss you guys like deeply.
All right. So you made it to the top.
And I'm missing the taste buds also. I think they're completely gone.
You made it to the top. you summited Spice Mountain without taking a drop of milk or water.
Hey, I said I was not going to touch until you did it, sir.
You fall through. I'm halfway down with this glass. And normally this is where we'd hand it over to you for 30 seconds of whatever you promote. However, you'll notice we still got 3 wings left.
Are these a bonus? Are these the bonus?
So this is the bonus, and this kind of ties into some of the stuff we were talking about earlier. So you may know we started a little fundraiser. We've got 3 different varieties of hot sauce in the battalion. You being a hot sauce wings connoisseur yourself, enjoy cooking as a hobby and a passion. Thought we use this opportunity to kind of get some of your expertise. And we were going to go through the 3 of these, give you a chance to taste. You're familiar with one of them, give you a chance to taste the other 2, and after each one, just kind of give the team here and the audience watching kind of your initial impressions. So this is just a shameless plug for us to sell more hot sauce, but also some recommended pairings based on your experience as an amateur chef. So the first one we got up here, we have no idea where these are on the Schofield. That's where I am right now. The Scoville scale. But the first one up is a Charge 3 green bag, sticking with the artillery theme. Most people watching this probably aren't even old enough to remember what the bag charges are. But this is mostly uses Trinidad scorpion peppers, some sugar rush peach, so a little lower on the heat scale. But then we also went for flavor as well with a little bit of the pineapple lime flavor mixed in there. So cool. I'm gonna do a bite of this and then get your opinions and recommendations.
It's pretty good. That's good flavor. You definitely taste the sweetness of the pineapple, the little tartness of the lime. It's not as hot as the last dab, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I'm happy that we're not back to that. But it's pretty good. Pretty good. I like it.
Any recommended food pairings with that one? Or if you were cooking with it?
Probably some sauteed chicken. We call it in Spanish pollo guisado. But yeah, we'll definitely pour some of that into it and give it a little kick. A kick to the chicken. I can't even talk right now. Like my tongue is on fire. But I would like to ask you a question, sir.
Okay, go for it.
And we were probably going to have the production kind of nervous because this was not pre-approved. But the first question, I have 3 questions, which ties into with the last 3 sauces here.
Since we're asking 3 more wings of you.
There you go. Fair. So my question is to you, sir, and just to get a little personal, just so we can get to know you a little better on a personal level. So out of all the ranks that you held in the Army, which one of them was your least favorite, and which one of them was your most favorite, and which one would you want to go back to if you had the chance to go back to? Voluntarily, of course.
So it's kind of tough, like rank wise, but there's also job wise. So I would say rank wise, I look back on my time as a lieutenant over in Germany and deploying to OIF 1, OIF 2, and kind of, I mean, that was the most formative time. And in hindsight, looking back on it, like how we ever survived that, not because of the danger, but just, kind of what was being asked of us at any given time. I still look back on, remember getting a mission where they called me into the battalion headquarters and we were in Baku, Iraq, and they looked at me and they're like, hey, you're going to take 5 guys, you're going to work your way to Arif Jan Kuwait, you're going to get another paladin and bring it back up here, and you leave tomorrow. And that was it. That was all the guidance. And one, looking at the the amount of trust that was put in us, and kind of it was just kind of figure out. So we knew where we had to leave from. We just showed up, got ourselves on a plane, and like how this all worked out. It ended up in Kuwait, met up with some guys from Davardi, and then figured our way back there with. I mean, we were like the masters of our own destiny back then. And so I look on that kind of as a favorite time. Like one, just how much room I was given to grow and learn, and two, just the example that battalion and battery command team would put in us to get the mission done, and still draw from that. Our battalion commander was a former battery commander in 141 in Desert Storm, which just crazy how that worked out. But like obviously it's a different environment, but how can you kind of create those same kind of experiences? So, I've had fun and would gladly go back to just about any job. If one I could avoid is probably, early major time, because it's just all staff and it's just a constant beat down, as any of the majors in the battalion can attest to. But would still go back and do it because it's just had fun. Best job outside of command or platoon leader is hands down the FSO job, which I've gotten to do at each level, just because it forces a learning curve, because you got to learn to speak another language, depending on who you're working with. I worked with a tank company, a light infantry battalion, an aviation brigade, and a Marine division as in a fire support capacity. And each time it's just amazing experiences, and how much you learn from getting to work with a organization that's not what you're used to. So kind of long two answers to a single question, but that's what I'd say. All right. Okay. So number two, and you're familiar with this one. This was our original offering in hot sauce. So this is our mesquite peach. Little it goes into this. So this all got started because on a whim decided to grow a bunch of hot peppers in the backyard, and lo and behold, they took off and actually grew and stayed alive. And then it was, what do you do with all these hot peppers? Because I'm not sitting around the house just chomping on peppers, and picked the hottest ones I could find just to see if it, what they looked like. Saw the pictures. So this is a mix of Carolina Reaper, Apocalypse Scorpion, some of the Trinidad Scorpions, again, basically just everything that was in the garden at the time. The Sugar Rush Peach, Black Hungarian, then little peaches in there for some of the flavoring, and we got the smoke flavor by actually smoking the peppers on a smoker. Nice. Before we made it. But this was our original one, so you're already familiar with it. You probably already got
this one. In the words of my Sigo, this one slaps. Nope. I got ready to tell you, sir, at home, my wife hates hot sauce, and she loves this one right here. And we put this on literally everything. We put it on pizza last night, because I didn't feel like cooking it this sheet. We put it on pizza, we put it on everything, sir. We like this one. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and so between stuff grown in the garden, then a bunch of YouTube videos on how to kind of formulate your hot sauce recipe, make it, and do it without giving people food poisoning. Very, it's been kind of rewarding to get to actually see people say, hey, that's not bad. And we raise a little money for the battalion.
There you go. So my second question is, okay. You've held a lot of hats in the Army, but I would like to know, as a father myself, when you get home, when you take off your PC and you enter that threshold, what are the challenges that you see, that you face as a father and as a husband? And I would like to share that one of my biggest things that I go to is giving my wife the time off that she needs, being a housewife and a stay-at-home mom. It's just giving her that time to have her breathing space, so she could chill out and take a break from the kids, because 4 kids running around all day now, with this whole COVID and virtual schooling, it's hard on her. So I would like to know, like, when you take off your PC and you get home, what are the challenges that you face as a father and as a husband, sir?
So especially in jobs where you're in charge of more people, more responsibility. One of the things is, and even with the plans we got in place, is leaving work at work, and the more connected we are, and you got to be available for your soldiers at any time. It's just part of the job. If you want the title of commander or leader somewhere in your name, then you got to be willing to give up some of that personal time to be there for them. But it's as much as possible leaving work at work. And one of the things I started doing it as a battery commander in Hawaii, and it's just always worked well. Is I keep the uniform in the office, and before I go home, I change out of it. I talked to some other senior leaders like Raider 7. He uses the longer drive he's got going back home as just the kind of time to get out the rest of the angst, listen to the radio, and be able to put that aside, because you definitely any frustrations with work, you don't want to put that on the family when you get home. And when you talk about giving your wife and the family the time they need. My wife homeschools our 4 kids, and I don't know how she does it, but it's not just at home, in an empty house or with just 1 or 2 of the kids. It's all of them, and they have, they've got her attention the entire time. So, best advice, and I'm still not that great at it, that I got from our division CSM when I was a captain at Schofield Barracks, and he said, "Hey, your wife asks you she wakes you up at 5 a.m. and says she wants you to go get her a pack of gum. It's like, go get it."
Right.
And he said, and don't complain, just get up and say what kind, and go get it. He said, and at the end of the day, nobody stays in the Army forever. At some point, you're gonna hang it up, and when you do hang it up, what's still there? You want it to be your family, and you want that relationship to be there. So, best advice is do what Sergeant Majors told me to do long ago. Don't complain. And I know my wife is going to watch this and be like, okay, I'm going to get held to this even more now.
Hey, if you wake up at 5 a.m. and ask for gum, I'll get it.
Yeah. Just don't complain. Realize that even though we tend to think that we've got the hardest job in the world and there's just so much weight on our shoulders, it's the exact same back at the household too. And while it's not the same job, it's not any less important what they're doing for us back there, and we couldn't be here doing what we're doing. So just don't complain, do it. And almost 15 years into it, I still catch myself slipping up, or I get caught slipping up in it.
Yep.
All right.
Last one.
So the last one. This is probably the hottest one. This is all Apocalypse Scorpion peppers, but they've been fermented over about 2 weeks, and with a little honey mustard to add some flavor to it.
Let's do it.
Okay. This one builds on you a little bit.
I pretty much have no more taste buds at this point, so I could build up as much as they want. So this is really good. It has good flavoring. Yes, it's a good one. It hasn't creeped up yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to creep up in a couple of seconds. So.
Any recommendations on what you'd put this one on? I think this one's a little more of a traditional kind of wing sauce.
This one I would definitely put on wings. You know what? In Dominican Republic, we have this thing called patelitos, which is almost like I don't know how to describe it in English, but it's like a patty that's like, it's almost like a beef patty. And I would definitely put this on that and give it a little bit more spice to it. But yeah, definitely put it on that. So my last question to you,
okay.
we're gonna end it on a light note. Can we see you, after retiring, appearing on the Shark Tank, pitching your sauce for 5% equity on your company?
If all I had to do, or if I could ever figure it out where I just provide the recipes and stay involved with the quality control, it's definitely doing it in small batches is fun. But just like anything else, you start putting the pressure on of making it work, or start adding deadlines and requirements to that. The one thing I would always be worried about is if it ever got to the point where it wasn't fun anymore, then really kind of what's the point of doing it? So
right.
Maybe you'll find me somewhere, setting up shop at a farmer's market on Wednesday afternoons in the town square. But I don't know if we're ever gonna go full corporate on this just yet.
No.
All right, so we made it. We got to
Barely.
3 extra wings, no milk. Got to know a little bit about you. The floor is yours. You got the camera. You want to give a shout out to anybody, provide some advice, or just sell whatever your latest latest project is you got going. 30 seconds. The floor is yours.
Hey, first of all, I'd like to thank you, sir, for having me here. It's not everywhere you could get a chance to sit with your battalion commander and have a wing off, as it will. Listen, all I want to say is to One for One, I'm going to miss you guys when I leave here. I had fun. I really wish we could have deployed somewhere and do what we do. But I'm going to take everything that I learned here, and I'm going to take it to where I'm going, and just keep on rocking and just keep doing what I'm doing as I progress in my career. And like I said before, man, I'm really going to miss you guys. It's bittersweet, but you know what I mean? Glory's guns, and leave with honor. That's all I got, sir.
All right. Hey, thanks again for coming out.
Appreciate you, sir.
Really appreciate taking the time to sit down and get to know you a little bit better. And here's where we're going to really test our production team. So, if again, can't recommend or thank enough the team at First We Feast for the inspiration behind this. We are not getting paid in any way, and standing by for the restraining order to come down and tell us to stop. Steal it. But we got nothing but love for you. So if you want to see where we got the idea, please check out the link up here to go to the First We Feast website and see some of the great content that they've got up there. If you want to check out this or past videos we've done, please click down here on one of the videos showing up. Check out our webpage if you want to see what's going on with the battalion. And Glory's Guns, appreciate it.
Glory's guns.
Oh.
Well, I was going to say, I would have the 1-800 number for only $19.89 for shipping and handling.
Yeah. Now, here's the new thing too. That one of the reasons we kind of started doing this is your choice of one of these 3 is your thank you gift for coming on and doing the show. You get to go home with a bottle of our
I'll take this one. This one's pretty good.
Okay.
This one's dope.